That's rolling. Are you rolling?
Yeah, rolling.
That's red. That's red.
Well, let me get my guitar.
Yeah, go for it. We're here with Mark Malibu from the Wasagas.
Hello, how is everyone?
How you doing? And where have we played recently? We played in France.
Yeah, we did 2 shows in France together, and then we played Birmingham, we played Newcastle, and now we're at Munster Raving Loony Party for, this is the final night of our tour. We've just played, that's why I'm all red and sweaty.
Yeah, so apologies, I pulled you straight off stage, and here we are. I thought it would be a nice little chat.
He calls himself Mark Malibu, apparently. He's a fucking idiot. Oh, sorry, man. Are these yours?
No.
Cervezas. Mucho gracias. Cheers. All right. So we are rolling, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, that's why we came in.
Yeah, cool.
Can I just go and grab your drumsticks? Sorry.
Only if you come out naked.
There you go.
Careful what you wish for, man.
This is what we're dealing with. Now,
it's like a lottery ticket.
I want to ask you about the Wasagas to start off with. How long have you been doing this with this band?
Well, the Wasagas started as a punk band called the Degenerates in 1979. And then after about a year or so, I wanted to change it up. And we started playing, I mean, the Wasagas played Wipeout and Pipeline and whatnot, but around 1980 I started changing it to surf instrumental. I went to a record show and I bought 10 Ventures albums for $2 each. I just fell in love with guitar instrumentals. So that's where I started pushing towards being an instrumental band. And then in 1981 we were a full-on surf instrumental band, and at that point we were opening up for like hardcore bands and weird new wave bands, and everyone kind of liked what we were doing. So, awesome. But this music was changing around 1980. It went from being that first version of punk to hardcore punk, post-punk, and all that, and we were the weirdos who did surf music.
Nice. Okay. And Steve, the drummer, he's been with you since
1979. We went to high school together.
Amazing.
I came back from England in '77, and I wanted to start a punk band.
Yeah.
I slowly found people who could play. I taught Steve his first couple drum licks because I used to be a drummer.
Okay.
And
right.
then he got some drums out of the garbage and started playing, and before you know it, we had a band.
So like Dick Dale, who's also a multi-instrumentalist, drums, trumpet, so you play a bit of everything?
I was the drummer in the school band.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But now you're the guitarist. Let's talk about these Hallmark guitars because they're quite unusual.
This is a Hallmark Swept-Wing. So Hallmark sponsors us, and we have probably about 6 or 7 of these yellow gold sparkle Swept-Wings. This is my baby. If I lose this, I'll be very sad. This is Hallmark Swept-Wing #1 for the Wasagas. But we have, like I said, 6 of these. We have 2 basses, gold sparkle, and I have the only bass 6 Swept-Wing guitar in existence. So the original Hallmarks were made by Joe Hall, who used to be a guitar builder for Maserati. And in 1966, he went out on his own and started his own company. And Swept-Wing guitars were in business for about 3 or 4 years. And then they declared bankruptcy.
Okay.
So there's very few original Swept-Wings around.
So are these reissues?
These are reissues, yeah. I wouldn't be taking, those original ones are worth thousands and thousands.
Because that's something that's impressive. You're shipping out these, what look like fancy guitars to every single show. From all the way from Canada.
Yeah.
You're making sure that you've got that.
It's part of the show.
It is.
You know, it would be kind of like when I was playing on the guitars, it'd be like Kiss playing without the makeup, right?
Yeah, right.
That doesn't really work.
It's kind of one of your things. But the gold sparkle, is that another Dick Dale nod maybe, or is that?
Not really. It just happened to be. I didn't play guitar for about 20 years. I was busy doing my career, and when I wanted to start playing guitar again, I didn't even own a guitar. And I was just flipping through eBay, and I saw this guitar, and I read about it, and I thought, oh, cool, it's like a Maserati, which Johnny Ramone played. Mm-hmm. I just bought it on a whim. Yeah, and I loved it so much, I started playing guitar again.
Nice. Okay.
So
I've seen the bat wing as well. Is that's Hallmark as well? Is it?
So Hallmark did some. They did like hot rod guitars for a while, So they did like an Iron Cross, they did a Batwing, did all these kind of hot rod guitars, and they went to all the hot rod conventions and sold them, which is kind of cool.
Amazing.
But you know, for me, I just wanted to have Swept-Wings for the band. I wanted something kind of unique for the band where we all played all the same guitar.
Yeah.
So these new ones are really cool because Bob Shade, who owns Hallmark Guitars now.
So it says Hallmark by Shade on the top
So
there.
Bob Shade owns the franchise now, and he's a guitar luthier, and he actually will restore old Maserati guitars and old Hallmarks.
Okay.
So these guitars are really solid. I mean, my big problem with weird-looking guitars is they're usually cheap and they fall apart.
Yeah.
This guitar is banged around all over the place around the world with me, and it just doesn't fall apart. He made this trem system here. It's patented by him.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's based on the Hallmark trem system. Everyone thinks these are P90s. They're not. They're high output single coil pickups.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, just this gives me my bright, that gives me my low, and with volume it gets all the sounds I want.
So, pickup selector, volume,
Tone.
big speed. Sorry, it's not a big speed.
Yeah.
Tremolo unit,
Yeah.
Hallmark. Now they look like some kind of
The strings?
no, the bridge.
Oh, the bridge he has like a very
rolling thing.
It's like a rolling thing because you know when you're doing this with your strings will get stuck.
Yep. Yep.
And the thing is, a lot of people will have problems if they use the wrong strings. You have to use the actual reinforced ball joint strings.
All right.
So these are all steel reinforced right at the ball joint.
okay.
So I can go pretty crazy on this and it won't go out of tune.
Amazing. And the nut has to be pretty like
Yeah.
tight as well.
Yeah,
So you got a zero.
It's got a zero fret on it.
Zero fret. Yeah.
So, and you can see I played the heck out of this.
You can
it's
swear.
Probably gonna need a fret job
Yeah.
one day.
That looks like my guitar. It's
Yeah.
mashed in.
Yeah.
Very cool. And that's a solid.
Solid body.
wood.
Solid body. You know, and considering how far it's been around the world, it's
Look
still
at
a
that.
pretty solid shape.
And you got some markers on here.
I put tape on here because as you see, if you see me, I'm always kind of yelling at the crowd and dancing around and stuff.
Yeah.
So then I can just kind of glance and see where my friend, especially if you're in the dark. I go into the
Cool.
crowd a lot, so in the dark I can see it.
I guess you can feel it as well.
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. I don't. I would prefer not to feel it, but I just got to see it.
Okay, so you're playing a lot of kind of surfy, well, surf tunes or surf-inspired tunes.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are into surf music who play guitar, they kind of obsess about what strings people use. So, like, obviously, Dick Dale, big, thick strings. What do you use? Does it
These are
matter?
11 to 48.
Okay.
A lot of the surf guys will use 12 to 52s.
Yeah.
And flat wounds. You know.
But you play a bit of a mix of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
because we're not say traditional surf. We're kind of more surf rock and roll. You see,
Yeah.
we sing as well.
Yeah.
So to me, it's more of a rock and roll sound.
Yeah.
You know, before surf, I mean, it was rock and roll bands. It was the Fireballs. It was bands like that. They were doing instrumental rock and roll. Link Ray.
Yeah, yeah. Link
You
Ray.
know, they weren't trying to do Dick Dale. They
One of
were
my faves.
before that,
I
right?
was going to ask you, have you got like 2 or 3 kind of main influences that made you want to play guitar? Or
Me play guitar would be George Harrison.
Really?
You know, I came up at a time. I'm at that age where I was a little boy when the Beatles were on the radio.
nice.
And my first record my parents bought was a Canadian pressing only Beatles Twist and Shout. But the Beatles were released in Canada 6 months before the America.
Right.
So there's a guy at Capitol Records was releasing the Beatles with different track lineups. So my parents bought us Twist and Shout album, and I just knew all the lyrics and everything about those songs before I was even in school.
Yeah.
So when I played guitar, I wanted to be just like George Harrison. To me, he was just like the consummate kind of rock and roll guitar player.
Yeah.
But also as a kid, you look on Beatles albums and you go, I like that song, who wrote it? Oh, you know, that's Little Richard or that's Chuck Berry. So then you start going back and looking at all the other rock and roll songs. And that's your entry into the early rock and roll.
Do you remember the first guitar riff you ever learned?
Yes, because I hadn't quite started playing guitar yet, and someone at school came with electric guitar and played Smoke on the Water. And I heard an electric guitar through an amplifier and my head exploded. I was a drummer then, remember?
Right.
And I just thought, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
So Smoke on the Water.
Very cool. So my channel, a lot of it is I'm teaching riffs to kind of beginners and stuff like that. So something I wanted to ask you was, if you were gonna say to somebody who's learning how to play guitar, could you say like this riff's a good one for like learning? For example, Smoke on the Water, it's fairly simple. You can kind of make it sound good quite easily. If you had a kid come up to you say, "Show me a riff," like, do you have anything that you can think
Well,
of?
I think if you pulled Smoke on the Water out, it would be a bit dated. Mm-hmm. You know, they might want to have that White Stripes song.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what it's called. I have the record.
Wichita. What's it called, Danny? Seven Nation
Army.
There you go. That's a good shout, yeah.
If you want a kid to get excited about playing guitar, you have to show them songs that they want to play.
Correct.
You know,
yeah, I agree.
My parents sent me to guitar lessons for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And at first it's all like Little Brown Jug and things like that. And I was not into it. And I said to him, if you want me to keep coming back, you got to teach me Beatles songs.
Yeah.
So we started learning chords for Beatles songs.
Yeah, you got to get excited about something you're learning. That's a good point. So it depends on the student. Very cool. Okay. Can you show me a riff? So I really like the version of Pet Sematary that you do. Yeah. Can you show me how you play that?
It's funny. So Don from Shadowy Men came up to me because he came to one of our shows, and he goes, "I knew you played Pet Sematary, so I wanted to see how you do it. I thought it'd be really fast, but you kind of play it slow and more melodic." And I said, "Well, everyone speeds up copies. That doesn't make it better. It just makes it faster." So for some reason, oh, my guitar's way out of tune because I laid on it.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
I've got video footage of you playing it. I'll insert that.
Yeah, insert that.
Yeah, I will.
Sorry, I sat on my guitar for the last song. It's now tuned to D Tormented.